Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. It's Friday, finally. It's Friday, April 11th. We made it through another crazy week, and let's get started because you won't even believe what the heat map looks like this morning. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence and check this thing out. It is green. I am very surprised this morning. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it go to red, but it is up in green this morning. Look at that SPY up $4 and trying to curl right back up. But look at this thing looking good to curl, and who knows, I doubt it's getting through that MACD. I'm just surprised that it's even curling up this morning. I think China hiked up their tariffs and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's get cruising and see what's happening this morning. We have our Jolly's jumpers, so let's take a look and see what's going on right here. We have our BFRG right here, Bullfrog AI Holdings. What is Bullfrog hopping around doing? BFRG. And that did hop up yesterday. Good old Bullfrog. It got up to 184. And then this morning, not doing too bad. Well, it did open at 175. Would have closed at 180. It did come down this morning. It looked a little better on there, but I was wrong right there. Good morning, everyone. Stocking up for future. Blue Collar Teamster, David, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, Asian Jolie, and everybody else that hops on. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, of course. And here we go. It is a great Friday, and we'll rock the market again. You got to take this thing day by day. I thought it was going to open up red this morning, and I woke up, hit the thing, and it's so nice now that FinViz is open and we're running at 4 a.m. You can look at it at any point and see what the as soon as it hits 4 a.m. you can see exactly what's going on in the markets, which is beautiful. So you wake up and you hit it and it's live and you're like, whoa, it's green. I am impressed. And even crypto is up right now. Solana's at 118. I know that. Bitcoin's at 82 again. So they are back up a little bit. And here we go. We'll rock and roll through our Joey's jumpers here. BLIV. Oh, I typed it in wrong. There we go. Good old BeLive. Remember we were just looking at this thing? It did run up. I think we were looking at it, running down? I forget. It was the other day. And I'll have to look at it. It is fairly new. It looks like it could have bottomed out there, and then it ran up really big. So it is tough to tell. And that's that BeLive, something like that. CDT Holdings. Or CDT, Conduit Pharmaceuticals. What am I talking about? Conduit. This one was running up yesterday, and let's see. It's probably that after hours look because we know it was running up. 61 to 146, and it closed at 125. Today it opened at 130, so it ran up a little bit, and it came back down to 110 right there. And it is over that 50, but I don't know. It is a Friday, so you definitely have to be careful, obviously. But it jumped up. I mean, I think it probably will pull back, but it's not a bad one we were looking at last night. And sells right here, CELZ. Let's see, that one doesn't look too bad. It says it's up right there. And let's see, it was jumped up yesterday. And that's the thing, it says it's up in the morning, but it's really the after hours is when it jumps up there. And that's closed at 227 yesterday, and today it's actually down because it came down to 202. So that is a little bit down. And again, that's that weird different look that you see because the it's not tracking the after hours. So hopefully it gets cruising. The Ghetto Stoic, how are you this morning? And no problem. I enjoy all the analysts and analyzing everything and doing it all. It's a lot of fun, to be honest with you. And I have a great crew of people that I talk to now. You guys are awesome listeners, and yeah, it makes me want to get up each morning and keep doing it. So I appreciate you guys coming on and tuning in and hanging out because, like I said, that makes me want to definitely come back each night and each morning. So yeah, as long as you guys show up, I'll show up. I can tell you that. And here's Janover. It's just pulling back. It had that big old run up yesterday, and honestly, it could still be trying to make a base. It's like still staying in this top, and it didn't get run up like cat ears, like I was saying. It would have been kind of strange. You don't see it very often, and that's what it was like, looking like it wanted to do. Just go doop and then come back down, but it did just make a right hand turn. Maybe it'll pop up some more. And again, it's odd that you'll see them cat ears like that. That's why I was curious, is it going to make it? But it's just a cool look on the chart, that's all. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but yeah, you see it every once in a while. I think You can call it a Batman look, cat look, whatever. But yeah, Bitcoin did it. I think Bitcoin might have been the last one that I realized to do it. So, and that was a little while back. And yeah, it's always interesting, but they go flying when they do it. Lucy right here bouncing down, but that was a huge run, and it never could get into the top. We'll see if it's just some healthy pullback up here, and it wants to go up because look at it. It looks like it's trying to set up right there. So that is LUCY and MSPR. MSP recovery, that one looks like it was hopping up a big time right there. What was that, yesterday or today? Yesterday, that thing ran 133 to 410, and then the smooth, it closed at 4, and today it opened at 372. It got up to 405, but it's back at 318, so it's pulling back right there. And ONFO right here on Folio Holdings. This thing's trying to curl up. ONFO. Yeah, I mean, it's running up. It hit that 50, so it'll probably just stay in that channel right there. And RXRX, we took a look at this last night, and I forget was it already run up, I think. Yeah, it already run up, and then today it's just hanging out. It is crossed through a little bit of pullback. We'll have to look at that one, but we looked at that last night, and we looked at this SHPH too. No, it was a different one that we looked at. It was, SHPH. That is exactly what it was, Shuttle Pharmaceuticals. And this thing was running up this morning. Just be careful. It's in that channel hitting the 50, but we were definitely looking at this. And there you go. It's your run up this morning, 47 to 53, and it's at 47. It's actually under where it opened, so just a little bit. So yeah, keep an eye on that, but just be careful. It's in that channel. And here is that Vero. That thing had run up massively and just pulling back, but does look like it wants to try to curl back up. Be careful on a Friday. It's pulling back here. We'll see what it wants to do, but that's meeting up, so maybe it pulls back or bases out and wants to run again next week. We'll keep an eye on that. And there you go, Joe Jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Joe Lee. Greatly appreciate them. And here we are with our laptop lowdowns next, and that's ENSC. We've been looking at this one. It's been way down there. And it's curling up. Let's see if it's going to try to get through here. Some of these are interesting, and some of them are trying to get through, but we are following that pattern. And here you go. It did run up yesterday a little. No, it just opened up, I think, because it was down here and it closed. Yeah, it gapped up yesterday is what it did. And then it closed at 197. So look at these things. I don't think it'll get through. And that's just the look that it has. So it is a nice curl up in the basement, but we'll have to see. I don't think it's getting out of the basement, but it's making a nice base. So we'll look. But you can see they make that base and then they drop down a level. So that's why we make sure that we know exactly what they're going to do right there before you get into them. So that's ENSC. And Antelope right here was a big runner the other day and pulled back some. So that is just hitting. Didn't even get through. I remember looking at it and saying, that never even crossed through right there. And now it just crossed through. Look at that. So keep our eye on Antelope. It could be a really good runner again right there. And AKAN. Econda, that one's coming down to that bottom line, so we'll keep an eye on that. I got to see this over here. AKAN. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. It looks like it bottomed out the other day, so keep an eye on that thing. That could be getting set back up. That ran not too long ago. ARMP, and again, they run up, then they come back down to the basement, and then they run back up to the top areas or the middle, and then you just, you catch that pattern all the time, and you just find them and just do. You just do them in a pattern, basically. But ARMP, Armada, look at this thing way down there. And then sometimes they even reverse split and stuff like that, and then they really want to pop. But yeah, that one's way down there. So we just keep our eye on these ones. They're great ones to watch. And a lot of these do pop up like 100% because they're so far down. So any kind of run up a lot of times is almost 100%, like 58, and you get it up in here where it used to be, and then it comes back down. You get a 100% popper. So AXDX, and that's why we look at these bad boys and we love them. AXDX right here is setting up. Look at this thing. So we'll look at it. Looks like it tried to bottom out, and the market looks like it tries to bottom out like every other day, and then obviously one tweet away from going up real big, and when one piece of news information from the market selling off. So it is crazy. crazy market conditions, and that's why we go through it so much and really pay attention to what's going on here. So let's see what BIYA is doing with a big dip. When was that? Was that yesterday? Probably. I'm assuming it wasn't this morning. Yeah, that was yesterday. So that's a big old dip right there. And Coot. How about Australian Oilseed Holdings? Remember, this one did a nice pop back here. I remember that guy. And now look at it. So, yeah, it went from that top. We hit it. And then now it's in the bottom. So we watch it. And then we get it to run back up because it's setting up. So there you go. That's the way the pattern runs. And then, yeah, if you run it up there and stay in it, and now you're down. So that's what ends up happening with all of them, and then they reverse split, especially these low ones. So I've realized you definitely have to trade them, because if not, you hold them and they go down. So that's just an experience, and you don't want to do that. Chris, CRIS, here we go. Look at this thing trying to curl up in a really good spot, guys. We're definitely keeping an eye on this thing real soon. Next week, we'll be watching Chris right there. And CRW, oh, I don't even know what. That's CrowdStrike. That's actually looking pretty good this morning, huh? Curling up. They are looking pretty decent. Well, at least CrowdStrike is. We'll go through the rest of them. But I was trying to get to this one right here, Crown Crafts. And that one's way down. It looks like it bottomed down, has support down there. So that's going to be a good one to keep an eye on. And this DTCK, Davis Commodities, that one's starting to hop up there. So that made a little base and is trying to jump up. So a lot of these that we've been watching, again, we're usually 2 weeks, 3 weeks early on these. And that's why we keep them on the list and they rotate around, because they get set up down here. They make these bases. This one's dipping down. It had that big dip. So you watch for it, and then it'll jump up one day. And then they can come down. That's why you play the quick bounces, because they're not really ones to be in, long-termers for sure. I don't think anything. Well, there's a lot of great opportunities right now, but you don't want to do KIDZ, KIDZ, which is a education and training services. But I'll tell you what, things setting up to get popping there, and it looked like it was a shell company before, so no idea, but that thing is getting set up, and that is one of our American education and training services. And let's see what LPA is up to, Logistics Properties of the Americas, way down there in the basement. And yeah, I'd say that's way down there. So LPA, we'll be keeping an close eye on that. And Move was moving down, and it still is. So we'll keep an eye on that move. And our MRIN, Marin Software, wow, look at that dip. It did cross through. Well, it got out of the basement, I'll say. It didn't get through, but it got through the basement, and then boom, that next day, because it didn't hit that through that MACD. Look at that pattern, guys, how money that thing is. And that would have saved you big on Marin right there. Or, yeah, Marin Software. We've looked at that one before, and it did run up at a beautiful pullback. And Northern Technologies, NTIC, look at that dip on the earnings. Woo, that was nice right there yesterday. Oh, yeah, that was a good dip right there. Tried to get out, same situation, tried to get out of the basement, not really crossing through, but way down there. And then TIC said this is going to be a solid list as usual. What am I typing in right there? Okay, well, you are. Here we go. There we are. A nice little base right there, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Onco right here, let's see what this is doing. It's just cruising along the basement, and it'll get set up. So a lot of good ones to keep an eye on for next week, being that it's a Friday. And this one's just pulling back. This is so good. I was looking at this yesterday because I wrote it down. It was starting to look at that setup, guys. It's making a base. This one should be so good next week. So look at that SOWG right there. That should be getting set up next week. So we'll watch that one. And STAK. Well, there we go. Stack. It's stacking down into the basement, but it should try to get curled up. We'll look at that one. It's a fairly new one, but it's not doing bad. And STBX Starbox, this one's been in the basement for a while. It was trying to set up before, and it just did not get moving. It was in a great spot and just did not want to do it there. And let's see what it's doing here. Just still running a little flat, so we'll keep an eye. We were watching it there for a while, but it just stayed flat. It didn't run like it should have, or when it should have. There's your blue screen this morning. And there's V. This one had run way up the other day, the recreational vehicle ones, and it's pulling back. And let's take a look at VRPX here, VRPAX. and that thing pulled back. Was that? It didn't stop April 3rd. Yeah, I looked into this. I don't know what did it. OTC, OTC. I did look at it, and I remember I looked on here, and I noticed when I typed it in, it said OTC. That's why it stopped April 3rd. So that's what it's doing. It's at 24 cents right now, trying to curl up. But yeah, they did go to the OTC market and delisted right there. So there you go with your Joey's jumpers and your laptop lowdown. So thank you very much, Laptop Travel, for them, and greatly appreciate it. Let's just see what is Logic Mark doing this morning. It's just hanging out right there, and let's see if this bad boy can move. And our SPY is up $3, and I mean, it looks pretty good this morning, I'm not gonna lie. But is it going to stay there is the question. And yeah, I don't think it's running through that MACD. I think that it pulls back a little bit and then, you know, hits that MACD and then pulls back. It's just set up pretty nice. That is usually a good look until you know our pattern, and then you have to be careful. And what did good old JP Morgan do this morning? It's up 650, and they must have did well on their earnings. Oh wait, their earnings are today. Yeah, they don't have them come out yet. It's curling up and hitting that line right there. And again, these things could turn around and be pulling right back, guys. So just keep an eye on it. I did think it was going to be more red this morning. You got a green opening here, so we'll watch it and see if it changes around at all and what the news is. What is the news? Stocks yo-yo, dollar slides as all-out trade war saps confidence. And JP Morgan's diamond U.S. economy faces considerable turbulence, and dollar sinks and gold soars in spiral and trade war. Investors are shunning America, this wealth management giant says. Actually, U.S. stocks are attractive and stock futures rise as traders assess latest tariff-related developments. So there you go. And don't forget, the PPI is today. The core PPI, and then some other stuff going on right there. So that is oh, look at that. It has the whole entire economic count. I had no idea. I didn't even know that was on there, guys. I'm like, is this new? I don't have no idea. But anyway, there you go. Now you get to see it all. And that's what already happened this week. And here's what's happening today. So there you go with that, and it tells you right there. So let's go through the rest of our big caps and Mag 7 and all them guys, see what they're up to, and then I'll take a quick look and see what you guys are up to and what you guys want to see. And let's look at Apple right here. It's up 29 cents, and again, curling up really. I mean, that's a nice curl up right there. And but I don't trust it. That's the only thing right here. I just don't trust that look at all, and it could go either way at any point, but it does look like it's trying to curl up really well, and I have a feeling we're keeping this pattern where they're hitting these bad boys and coming back down. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today, and it is a Friday, so you just got to trade smart regardless of what day it is. Excuse me. But yeah, you just got to be careful because these things could get turned around. Now Google, on the other hand, doesn't look too bad right there, but again, just has that weird look on it. It is crossed through, but that doesn't mean it can't come down and then roll back off, which will take a couple days. And Meta's up $3, and again, has huge channel right there, hitting that MACD. I don't trust them right there, and I think the last time I said I didn't trust it, they kept pulling back. Microsoft honestly doesn't look bad, though. Look at it. It's holding itself in that channel. It's probably the only one out of them that looks decent. Look at it. So that actually they all look decent, but this one looks like it could actually run. The rest of them look like they might pull back to me, or should pull back anyway. And again, it's only one tweet away from something crazy happening. Look at NVIDIA crossing through there, looking good, but you're going to hit that 20 unless it can get into that channel. I'm not so sure it can, and obviously I'll be keeping you guys posted. Yeah, look at that look. It just doesn't look like it wants to get through to me. And like I keep saying, they have more time to keep it under that channel and then make the channel bigger and then get it in. They can stretch their time out. They need time, guys. These interest rates aren't going down immediately, so they definitely need some time to work this thing and try to get the Fed to work with them. So yeah, they're just trying to build some time, and they're doing it. So like I keep telling you guys, we have to just work and be patient with them. But let's try to read the market as what they're trying to do as per that day because they're playing it day by day. Tesla's down a little bit, and that thing, look at it, was looking great. And you have that setup, and you keep getting these beautiful setups, and then it'll dip down and then get set up again really well. So you're just getting these great setups, and then they break apart, so it just gives them more time and it stretches some of the channels out for them. And like I said, they're just playing. Like, when you know what you're looking at and you know what they're doing because you can tell, and you call it all out like we always do, it's actually. I mean, it's a beautiful plan right there. What they're doing here. I know a lot of people aren't happy and they think that it's like, oh, it's going up, it's going down, trade war, tariffs, this and that. People just don't understand. They don't get it. They don't get it at all, and I'm glad that we understand it because it's not really a big deal. And like I say, nobody else had the balls to do it, and it needed to be done years ago, and no one would step up to the plate. It went, and even Trump didn't do it the last time. I mean, they had a great economy, and obviously COVID was a big thing, though. So you have a lot of money that got obviously poured just they just wrote checks for everything and put us on lockdown and paid for nonsense, and then we just give out money nonstop. So between the two of them, it just drained everything. And then obviously the rates were nice and low back then, and that's our problem here is you have these rates real high, and you have all this money that we have to be on the hook for, so you have interest going through the roof, and we can't afford any of it. So that's what they're trying to get it under control. It's a freaking mess from the last administration. Literally just like gave the country away. I'm still amazed that will we ever find out who is really running the country? That's what that's like my biggest thing now. Hell with the JFK, because everyone always knew that shit was set up, and that dude Harvey Oswald probably wasn't even involved. But anyway, who the hell's running the country for 4 years? That's the biggest question, I think, in America right now, and should be until we find out, because it is fascinating, guys. And I'm telling you, it's crazy, and we called it out with no problem. Charts don't lie. I promise you that. GameStop looking good. AMC was all right. It was just hanging out right there. I'm not really doing a lot this morning, but it doesn't look bad. You can see it was flat. That's why I was just looking at it. But GameStop does not look bad. It's up a little bit, it says, and it does not look bad right there. Let's see. I could see it trying to like pull back into this 50 and then get really set up for next week. I'm not sure what's going on with GameStop. They already had earnings, and I'm not sure. But besides that, they had the $5 million Bitcoin thing or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if they bought Bitcoin, they might have done it at the right time. Like I said, they got in at like 78,000, and this thing runs up to like 82, 84, and they can even sell it and then pick it back up at 78. They do that a couple times with that kind of money. You can make some quick money and definitely pump up the books. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on. Let's just run through the rest of these real quick. Chewy is up this morning, it says. So there you go. And let's see, Netflix, they all probably are up a little bit. But again, hitting the MACD, they're curling up really good. I just don't trust them right there. So I'll be definitely paying attention to it. And AVGO up a little bit, and another one hitting the 20 right there. It looks like it should be pulling back. MU up. They're all up a little, and they all have that look. I mean, it's flat and looks like it should go down. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, unless some crazy news comes out and they just like clear tariffs or something completely. I mean, look at TSM though. That looks like it wants to curl up really good and try to run, but it might get stopped off right there. But that's a really good look. We've seen them before. I mean, look at that look right there and come straight down. So we've seen it all the time, and especially now, and that's why we look at the charts and then try to factor in exactly what they need to do per day, because I think it's a better look than trying to really just look at the charts and just say, oh yeah, it wants to do this. They have these setups that they're looking all crazy, and you got to play it the way they want it. And that's why I was saying that the other week. And here we go. Sanaya, we just did Netflix, and I'll hit them other ones real quick, and I'll hit everything real fast. I'll go through them. SMCI right here. This one is just about to hit that MACD, just like the rest of them. It was getting close. I couldn't tell if it was on there, but it was. It's looking pretty good to hit it and probably come back down. AMD up a little, and you can tell they're not up they're not cruising up a lot. And I was surprised they were even green, but not a bad idea to keep them green and pull them back a little bit. That way they weren't dipping down really hard in all day. So you can kind of play that, and that's what it looks like to me anyway. On a Friday going into the weekend, you got to be careful holding anything, honestly. And INTC, here we go with Intel. And that looks like it is pulling back. PayPal right here. Let's take a look. That is the same look. I mean, they all have that same look. So Snow curling up. It looks like it might have even curled through, but wasn't Snow in that spot where it could have pulled itself back down? Yeah, that is. So we'll have to look at Snow and see. And you got that 20 up there, which is good resistance, especially right now. So we'll take a look at that. And Dell, that's just kind of cruising along flat and going to hit that line, probably come down. Palantir hasn't looked bad because it's been up over all of its resistance. It has good support now, and it's in the channel. So this one, and it's curled through. This one could run around a little bit, Palantir, so keep an eye on that. I mean, they're all going to run around, but that one could run upwards. Sophie looks the same. Looks like it's going to hit that and come back. Now, maybe they do cross through. It would be amazing, but I doubt it. And Mara, I mean, look at this thing trying to get set up, but you can see it should have ran right there is where it should have been running, and it didn't because it wants to pull it back down and not really run. So that's exactly what's going on here. And Riot just hanging out right there. And MicroStrategy is probably just chilling at $10. I mean, that look right there looks like it should be going nuts. They shouldn't look like they want to go any which way. And especially when they're up a little, up like $10 like that and curling up. But yeah, they look like they're not going to make it. And you can even see MicroStrategy looks like it's going to get pulled back down right there. So that's what it looks like to me. And here we go. Bitcoin, let me see. Keeps going right by me. But Solana's at 118. Bitcoin's at 82,400. Ethereum at 1559. And Ripple at 201. Cardano at 62 cents. And let's take a look and just see what they're doing real quick. Oh, let me put in the Coinbase one. I don't like the futures or wherever. I don't even know what it does if you put it in like that, but I do like the Coinbase. Yeah, look at that thing hitting that line, hitting that 20. Does anyone think that's getting through? I mean, on a good day, it should get through, but it's just not meant to be right now because they're trying to keep them down. So again, you got to factor in exactly what they're trying to do at the same time that you look at these charts, and that's why that pattern, you have to hold on to it because it's been keeping our asses safe, and that's exactly what it looks like. You see that thing, holy cow, you're like, whoa, these things are getting set up, but we already know that it's a good possibility or not. Solana had crossed through, that's why I was curious, and it is crossed through, but another one, it could just come right back down, even pull itself back down right there. And again, if these things really wanted to run up, what it was its low, 112 to 118 and or a 119. If they really wanted to run up, they'd be jumping up right there. They don't really want to be running up. That's the thing, and you can kind of see it right there. So, and again, we just have time that they're trying to get things done. So we just have to be patient and not worry about the market. We're going nutty every minute. Just watch it and see what it wants to do and play it like that until things get better and they can get these rates down. So that's what we're looking at. And here's ETH, and look at it, just same situation right there. And Ripple, will look at XRP. And that one curl. I mean, look at them curl ups, guys. And we've seen them beautiful before like that, getting to the line. But look at this thing. It looks like it's going to get pushed down right there. So that's what it looks like. And there you go. It's pretty green this morning. Let me take a look and see what you guys want to look at real quick. Let me see. Let's see where Logic mark at now. It's just sitting at 0.0095. So we will definitely be keeping you updated on that, and we'll see if it can actually move this morning. That would be good. And let's see, AREC for Filtrate, American Resources Corp. This thing is getting right there, huh? Remember, we said it was going to be setting up, and I know you've been mentioning this thing, the coking coal. We went through them, and they are getting set up. So, coal, what's coal have going on, Phil? You seem to know something about this thing, AREC, unless you just like it, and some people just like certain ones. And but yeah, if you know something about it, let us know. Fill us in, and I'll read it for sure. I'll post it if you want to post something up about it. If you do know, because it is starting to set up right there. We've been watching. It looked like it bottomed out right there, and we will have to go through coking coal again. We'll go through that industry again starting next week because it's looking good. I'm telling you, this thing does look good, and there's a bunch of them that look good, and there was only like 4 of them ready. Yeah, they were all looking pretty decent. They all look like they bottomed out and are starting to move. Look at that. All of them right there. They all had that bottom look. So something's going on in the coking coal industry right there. They're about to do something, I can tell you that. So we will keep an eye on that for sure, Phil Trey, and thanks for bringing them to our attention. And like I said, if you do know anything about it in particular, let us know, and I'll let you guys know. Timo, good morning. A fan from Finland. Oh, that's awesome, dude. XLO, of course, we'll look at that. You're in Finland listening. That's awesome, dude. And let's see. Actually, my birthday is next Friday, Laptop Travel. On Good Friday, it'll be next Friday. So, yeah, I have a day off on my birthday. How about that? It'll be pretty cool. And, yeah, it's on Good Friday. It's usually not on Good Friday very often. I'm not going to lie, but I'll take it. It'll be a good Friday, that's for sure. It's always a good day. So yeah, next Friday I'll be another year older. I make it. XLO, this thing doesn't look bad either. Let's see what it's doing here, Timo. So yeah, next Friday we can have a little party on X. Right before the Easter holiday and 420. It's all going to be a fun weekend right there. That's for sure. It's going to be a wild one. Is Easter and 420 on the same day? Yeah, they are. Oh, I just realized that. I didn't even notice until I just said that. And I'm like, wait a second. They're going to be the same day then, Easter Sunday and 420. Holy cow. We're going to have a smoking bunny right there. And that's why O.V. Groves was saying that there's a new coin coming out that he knew the people that were doing it. And yeah, it was something about like a bunny and bunny eggs and I forget, and nugs. I forget what it was, but anyway, that makes a lot of sense. That 420 is on Easter. Holy cow, that's going to be a fun one right there, huh? People are going to be like making bowls out of jelly beans and stuff. XLO, here we go. But that one looks good right there. I must say, this XLO, it gapped up, it looks like. Let's see, what was that yesterday? 0.64, and this morning it's at set. It did gap up. It is hitting that line pretty hard. It's an interesting one. Look at it. Look where it's at, right around there at that 70 cents, and it's sitting. There's a trend line coming through, which you gotta love. And the 20, we have to look at that one as it opens up. It did gap up, so if you got in it, it looked good. And just look, it could run up a little bit more here. You could get up into that 72 area. But again, you did get up from, what did it open or close? Like 65 or something, I said. Something like that. And 64, just under 65. So, yeah, it was a little nice gap up. And then just look at it. Unfortunately, being a Friday, I don't know if you're going to get that extra movement out of it. But we'll see. And market conditions could play a part, but it does look good right there, I must say. So I would keep an eye on that XLO today. I think that's a good one there, Timo, and have a good day over in Finland. And STSS had another pop at 4 a.m. See, the 4 a.m. crew, they love these things. And let's look at it. It'll tell us right here real quick. Yeah, it did. You're absolutely right. Ran back up to that 3 cents right there, and it's still not looking bad, guys. So look at it, trying to curl up. It is kind of, yeah, I mean, it's not looking too bad. We'll keep an eye on that one, and we'll see if it can get out of the basement, if it can keep that momentum. It does have, holy shit, it has 179 million in volume already. It's like, not, it's 7:30 in the morning, guys. Holy cow, that thing's going to be rocking and rolling today, huh? STSS. So there you go with that. And again, you just got to wait for these things to get way down here, and then they get a little crazy. So hopefully our logic mark goes next. We were looking at this one. Good morning, Sinai and everybody. We do have our PPI today, and Nike, we didn't look at that. That's it's just down at the bottom right there, pulling back. I would say again, another one kind of has a same look. Yeah, I don't think it's really gonna. You might get a little bit of movement here as it's trying to curl up a little bit more, but I doubt it's gonna get through that MACD unless they really like take the tariffs and stuff and figure that out. Netflix, that same look, hitting that MACD, and Palantir we looked at, and like I was saying, that one's not bad. And UNH right here, United Health, this one's been running up. It's in the top. They have earnings coming up actually next Thursday. And so just be careful. It's way at the top. And I know Luis Rodriguez or somebody brought this one up right before it started to run up there. So that one is cruising there. So there you go with them. No problem. AREB, that one was actually, was it running back up? Yeah, this morning. Remember we said it looked good to curl back up the other day. And yesterday it ran. And look at it. It's in this channel and it is looking good, guys. You could play this thing, I think. AREB, it looks decent. Just be careful on a Friday, but obviously take them quick pops in and out. And Newton Golf right here, what's that up to? Because that was a big runner, and I know it was coming back to that 20. I was watching this. Newton Golf, and NWTG right here. And yeah, it came back to that 20, and it's just sitting there. We have to see if it wants to get curled up or if it's going to get let down and come back down a little more there, Sam. So we'll keep an eye on that one. I've been watching it. I know I didn't put it on the list, but I've been keeping an eye on it. And this bond, remember I said that this thing wanted to get cruising really soon, guys, and there you go. Today was the day that it wanted to run. Look at that thing cruising around. So BON, and we knew this thing was getting set up. It's just a matter of when with these things. 5 to 12, it's at 11. That's a huge hit, guys. There you go with Bond, David. We were all over this thing early. I think I just forgot to put it up back on the list. Some of them I was just doing the list kind of quick the last 2 days. Had baseball and something else going on, so I just kind of ran through the list fast and jotted them down. And yeah, there's no particular order. I literally take the list from the day before, jot some of them down real quick, and then ask you guys what you want to see. So it's just, that's how quick and easy I make the list. And BON, we were definitely looking at. That's a nice popper right there. And how about gold's looking good? It sure is this morning. We were looking at it last night, and look at it jumping up. It probably will keep going up, guys. Gold now could cross through, though. That's one that I would say that one might not follow the rules, the gold industry right here. So, and yeah, everyone hit that like button. Appreciate that. Sinai and Timo, you have a great day. How is, what you said, Finland, right? Isn't that what you said? Yeah. How's it over in Finland? And here we go. That hold on, Filtrate has that on AREC, and they have a good connection to the market. Got some funding through the government recently through the DARPA Critical Mining Forum. So, and they're connected with national security. So Phil knows a little bit about that AREC. He always posts about it. So I thought he'd be following it. And yeah, I think that coking coal, I think all of them bad boys look good. There was what, 5 of them in there? 5 of them, and they all look pretty good, guys. They're all way down. They're all pretty much bottomed out, and so we will keep an eye on that industry. Thank you, Phil, for letting us know, because I've never even heard of coking coal before. We were joking about it the other night, and yeah, that's that one right there. And your SPY's back down, only 86 cents right there. And let's see what else is going on right here. And the U.S. rare market industry has been horrible for years, but the tariffs look to shift market share back to USA, and AREC is also capable of producing and refining rare minerals. Sorry, I can't read, you know that. But thank you, Phil. Yeah, I like that thing. I like that whole entire industry, and I have no idea, never heard of it, but we were talking about it. So yeah, just check these guys out, guys, because I think Filtrate's on to something right there. These things have probably been getting beat down forever. Who the hell ever was using coal or anything? I mean, they ran up a little bit when the markets ran up, but I mean, they're not top runners. Look at them in the basement. It ran up when the markets were trying to run right before it. But look at them down here, and they look good, that whole industry. So we will keep an eye on that bad boy. Appreciate that for sure. And let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, it's definitely next Friday, so we'll have a good party and anniversary day. Oh, there you go. It's your anniversary day. There you go. So SHPH and STSS gone, boom. And then he's off to the weekend. So have a good weekend, Laptop Travel. And we always greatly appreciate everything that you contribute because you're definitely a great contributor, I have to say. An amazing contributor. And I literally I have meetings with people and I'm like, yo, this guy Laptop Travel, I always mention him. And a couple of people actually, I'm like, yo, I have a great audience and some really good listeners and they really know what they're doing. And I name a couple people and I'm like, yeah, they even have segments on the show and that's just the way we do it. So yeah, and I love that everybody tries to contribute. And like I said, we have a good time with everything and that's what it's all about there. And JP Morgan not looking bad. B Hat right here. Let's look at B Hat. We had looked at it before. I remember it ran up. I mean, we've looked at it many times, but let's see if we catch a run up. It doesn't look bad. It's kind of making that base down here, guys. Blue Hat Interactive, and yeah, it looks like it could be running up yesterday. It's not doing anything today, but it doesn't look too bad right there. So we'll keep an eye on. Obviously, we have to get through that 20, but it has a pretty big channel right there, all the way up to that 380 something. So we'll keep an eye on Blue Hat. That's not a bad one there, Robbie. And let's see what else is going on. KIDZ, that's that one we were just talking about, that the education one in the U.S. If I could type it in, it would help out. But yeah, we were talking about this, and like I said, it looks like it was a shell company. That's what these shell companies always look like. That's how I always say it looks like a shell company, and it looks like it just started and got crazy. Like it looks like they tried to start it, and then we're like, oh, we can't start this thing, and then it just ran like this, and then this day it did something, and then all of a sudden it started up here. It's the most bizarre look ever. I don't know what was going on. Maybe they're changing the names of the companies. It looks like a clear shell. It was a shell company. Something was happening. But yeah, I mean, we keep an eye on it because look at this big and we know these things, they like to run like that. So I would say that's probably a pretty good one to keep our eyes on right there. And there we go. I would say we did a pretty good market review right there. I think I got to everything. We did our crypto and all that good stuff. We already covered our news stories. Let me just see if anything's cruising around over here. Our LGMK. Let's go, Logic Mark. Just get moving at any point today. Would be nice to just curl that thing up and just get rolling there. So did it run up this morning? It looks like it was trying to run up a little bit. Not much, but it was trying. And so, yeah, it's just bouncing around there. So we'll keep an eye. And BON, nice runner right there that we had. And that thing had MSPR. Remember we were looking at it? Wasn't that on your list right there, Laptop Travel? I'm almost positive. We looked at that last night, MSPR recovery, or yesterday. Very recently, I remember that thing, and that's over 100% right there. And how about SUNE? That one's still in the basement there. Oh, yeah, we were going to look at this thing way down here, FMTO. I have it written down right there to look at it, and I forgot. See that? And but it's pulling back just a little flat, and maybe it's a good one for next week, to be honest with you. I think it will be a better one for next week to keep an eye on. So we'll keep an eye on that FMTO and see, because that was a massive $8 down to like 4 cents. You don't see that very often. So whoever was in that got completely smoked, and they might not ever see that back up there again, but we might see a good pop, and that's what we're looking for. So there you go, and SHPH, there you go with that, and all these guys. And again, I'll let you keep you updated on the SPY and let you know. It seems like it's getting, it's not up as much. I was honestly, when I hopped on, and like I said, I love that the FinViz is working and early. Look at this, every one of them that we've looked at right here. Boom, 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 boom. We've had every one of them. So yeah, even we've looked at that one. We looked at all of them right there. So there you go with that. And but yeah, the market, like I was really surprised it was that green. Things were up. It's up $1.23, but again, I just don't see it. It looks like it's flattening out and it's going to pull back. That's what it looks like to me, guys, and I'll obviously keep you guys posted there. And AREB, who completed a merger there? Was it AREB, possibly? I don't know. Sam had posted a couple of them. I'm not even sure. But anyway, something did. He said something did. completed a merger, and news came out today, but I'm not exactly sure. And but there you go, everybody. I'd say that's a good pre-market review on a Friday. I almost said Saturday, on a Friday morning, and we'll keep you posted on the market. And I do think it might try to pull back here, so I was actually impressed it was up. And so we'll keep an eye out for that, and I'll keep you guys posted. Obviously, you got to be careful on a Friday going into a weekend, especially in this market. Anything can happen at any moment. They are pretty wild. So and there you go, everyone. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And yeah, look at that MSPR. We were definitely just looking at that thing. MSP recovery, and Vero is back up, and a couple other ones. So there you go. And that's what we're looking at. And so any questions, let me know. I'll keep you guys posted on what I see today, and let me know if you guys see anything. So have a great Friday, everybody. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later, and have a good day, everyone.